I first got attracted to Obsidian as a powerful personal reference system, but I quickly learned that Obsidian's flexibility can be a two-edged sword. You see, there's so many ways to organize your notes. You have folders, you have links, you have tags, there's databases you can create with metadata, and much more. All those options can turn into complexity very quickly, and that's something that we try to avoid around here. After a lot of trial and error, I've come up with a simple tagging system that I use to organize the majority of my notes, and today I'm going to share it with you. First of all, though, why would you even choose to use tags to organize notes as opposed to the other options? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1 being tags are a little bit simpler and more flexible than complex metadata schemes. Yeah, you can put all kinds of metadata on your notes and create these amazing databases in Obsidian. However, anybody who's worked with databases can tell you that they're a lot of work to maintain, especially if you want your data to remain useful and have integrity as the database ages and you put more things into it. And trust me, I love a good database. I build them all the time, but I've found that approach just doesn't translate well to my daily life. And honestly, I can't be bothered to do the work to maintain it over time. So a second reason is that tags definitely outshine folders for organization because you can only ever put one note inside one folder, but you can put basically an unlimited number of tags on it. What's nice about that is that it allows you to deal with category overlap. Like sometimes things belong in more than one category and it's hard to decide where you're going to put it. If you have a folder structure, you might be like, well, this is like a finance thing. You know, maybe my grocery budget is a finance thing, but it also is a nutrition thing. And where do I put it? Tags let you put it in both places instead of just one. So that gives you that additional flexibility. The third reason is that they can even be better than links in some cases, because even though everybody loves links in Obsidian, and I'm right there with you, I love links too, you still have to be able to get to the note that you linked from. And so that is a limitation of links that tags don't have. Tags are sort of like agnostic to location. They just are always there, and you can find the notes that are attached to that tag pretty easily. So, tags are pretty great, but I've also run into a few problems with them in the past that you really should know about before you go ham with tags. And a lot of those issues really center around the thing that we brought up at the beginning, which is flexibility. It's a two-edged sword. And one issue that you run into is inconsistent naming. And I'm going to show you in Obsidian what this looks like, because it's very easy to make a tag in Obsidian, but you can very easily end up with duplicate and triplicate tags. So let's look at what that looks like. So I have a new note here, and I'm just going to demonstrate really quickly how easy it is to make a tag in Obsidian. There's 2 kind of main ways. One is you can type the pound or hashtag symbol here, and then you can start typing. So if, let's say I wanted to tag this as a recipe, I can do that with just typing into the body of the note. You can also add it to a metadata field, which is typically how I'm doing it. So in this case, you don't need the symbol. You can just start typing in the metadata field. So the issue with tags and being a little bit too flexible and having inconsistent names is this. Let's say I want to tag this note as a recipe. You'll notice I already have a tag for recipes. But if I'm moving quickly, or maybe I'm not paying attention and I just go ahead and tag it as recipe, now we're going to see an issue. If I open up my tag pane and I go to R, you're going to see that I have now 2 tags. I have recipe and I have recipes. There's some issue with that, right? Like I could end up with multiple, you could have double or triple of the same kind of thing, but named slightly differently. Yes, autocomplete is trying to help us here, and generally you may not run into that. It's avoidable, but it could become an issue if you are using tags a lot. So it's something to be aware of. Second thing is nesting. Now, Obsidian allows you to nest tags within each other, which is kind of nice, but it can create some complexity. So let's demonstrate this here. The way to nest a tag is to use a slash. So in this case, let's say we wanted to label this recipes and like bread, right? So if I do recipes/bread, now it creates a tag that looks like it's just its own tag. But if you go into the tag pane, now you can see under recipes, and then I have bread underneath it. But you'll also notice that if you go up to B, I already have a bread tag. So again, yet another layer of complexity that can be added when you start nesting tags. I believe you can only nest one level. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Either way, it's something that adds another layer and can create some inconsistencies if you're nesting it in one place and you're not nesting it in another. It can just get out of hand if you're not careful. The third kind of pitfall with tags is having too many tags per note. It's basically limitless. You can put as many tags as you want on a note in Obsidian, and that can be good in the sense that you can have that overlap that we talked about before. But if you have too much overlap and everything applies to everything, then your categories are meaningless. So you got to strike a balance here, and we'll talk about how in a second. But basically understand that just because you can put a million tags on things doesn't mean you should. And so having some sort of limit on that is helpful. So now that you got some pitfalls in mind, how exactly am I using tags that is capturing the benefits while avoiding the issues that we just talked about? So we're actually today inside my real Obsidian vault because it's kind of hard to create a working demo of this. And it would take a long time for me to do that when I already have it set up. So first kind of rule that I follow is that I don't tag every note. You're going to notice, if we pop over to my folder pane, that I actually use a combination of tags and folders. Folders are good for some things, tags are better for others. And I even have some metadata and databases. So really there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. It's really what's the best way to address the workflow you're trying to accomplish. And Obsidian gives you the flexibility to do that. So I have a little bit of everything. Sometimes folders are just easier for point-and-click use, especially in Obsidian. The tag pane is kind of helpful, but not as easy to just quickly jump into things. For instance, my projects and goals go under this planning folder. And I can, if I'm looking for a note on a project or a goal, I can literally just open up that folder and jump into it so that I can access them quickly and not have to remember how I tagged them. The notes that I tag are generally inside this reference folder. And you're going to notice a big difference here when I open the reference folder. There's really no subfolders. There's a couple, but mainly it's just notes dumped in there. And that is because I use tags to manage my reference information. And you're going to notice that this is the vast majority of my vault. It has almost 900 notes in it. So pretty much if it's in the reference folder, I'm going to tag it instead of putting it in a folder. And that's kind of how I look at it. Other things, those other folders have specific purposes and use cases, and that's why I generally don't use tags in those folders, because they're just not useful for me in that context. So that's rule number one. Don't tag everything. Know when you're using tags and use them consistently. Secondly, I actually limit what a tag is for. You're going to notice in my tag pane, if we just kind of scroll through, the tags are generally about the topic of the note and really nothing else. I'm not generally tagging based on the type of the note or anything else, just the topic. So this makes it simple. I don't have to think of like all the different ways I could tag it. It's just like, what's the topic of this note? What are the general categories of the topic? And that's rule number two. So rule number one, I only tag things in the reference folder for the most part. Secondly, I limit what a tag is for. I basically only tag the topics. And then third, I limit how many tags I put on a note. I have this kind of soft limit of 4 tags per note. It's totally arbitrary, but it does, I find, give me enough overlap without being excessive if I need it. Let's look at an example here. So I'm going to pull up a note here that has 4 tags on it. So here is an exercise that I've used at work for a couple of different things. It's a nice little process improvement sort of teaching moment. And I have it tagged as teaching, process improvement, leadership, and business. So any of those things kind of apply to this. And so that's how I tagged it. Now, I reserve the right to break the rule if I want to, but I generally don't find it necessary. 4 is like more than enough in most cases in my experience. I also don't force it either. If I can only think of one tag, I only put one tag. Here's an example of that. If I find this here, if I open this up, this is like, it's not really a recipe. It's just like some notes I have on like how to boil an egg properly and the timing. And so I just tag that with cooking. And that's okay. Like it helps me find it. It's fine. And so, but if I wanted to, I could put like eggs on here if I wanted to get more fancy. And that's fine. Either way is good. I don't try to make sure every note has 4 tags. It's just one tag. Now, if I'm tempted to add a 5th tag, like in this case with this arm wrestling exercise, maybe I'm like, maybe I want to tag this as lean because like this is actually something that you use when you're kind of introducing lean. It's one way you can kind of get people thinking differently. And that's something I might want to use to find that in the future. It forces me to think through like, are any of these tags too vague? Like, does this actually fit better than these other tags? And I would say maybe in this case, like actually lean probably fits better than business in this case. And business might be too broad. And so that helps me kind of refine my categorization with a real soft heuristic. It's not something that's super complicated. It's easy to remember. And That's really the gist of it. It's that simple. I don't tag everything. I tag based on the topic, and then I only put 4 tags per note. That's pretty much it. Why does that work? Well, number one, it's simple, right? It's easy to remember. I don't have to think of this complex hierarchy of like what tags go to what and how do I use them. It allows me to have some category overlap without introducing a lot of complexity. And you'll notice that in my tag pane, I do not nest tags. I basically just do, one single kind of thing. And like that helps me not have to think too much about how the topics are related to each other, because in the end, it doesn't really matter. The goal here is to find the information quicker, which that is really the next question is like, okay, how does this help me find information? Well, there's a couple different ways you can use tags to retrieve the information you've now put in your note. The native approach is what I was just showing you, which is the tag pane. So if I wanted to find that again, like let's say I was like working on something that was process improvement related, and I want to find that, I can go to P and I can find process improvement. Now you can sort the tag pane either by the name or how many notes are tagged with it. Either one works. I don't really care either way. I generally go with tag name because I'm doing it by topic. So if I'm trying to find something, I need to know the topic, and alphabetical works better for that. So here I can say, okay, process improvement, bang, I've got 6 notes that are tagged with that. And the first one that comes up, probably because I just opened it. But you'll notice there's a bunch of different things in here, and I can go and find that note that way. Another really good way, besides the tag pane, is Omnisearch. Now, I know I have talked about Omnisearch pretty much ad nauseum on this channel. It is an amazing plugin, and you should be using it instead of the native search because it's this awesome. I can open up Omnisearch and I can start typing process improvement. If I type it the way I've tagged it, which tags can't have spaces, so it has the dash, you can see that all of these notes are now things that have been tagged with process improvement. And that comes up first. The other thing, you could just type process improvement, and you're going to see the same kind of things along with other stuff that uses those words. So Omnisearch is really good at finding tags in a note as well as searching the content of the note. So Omnisearch makes finding stuff based on tags really easy. And basically what you're doing here is creating a bit of a semantic structure for your vault when you use Omnisearch with tags, because that specific note, like this arm wrestling exercise, may not even use the word process improvement in it. But because I've tagged it as process improvement, it will show up when I search that in Omnisearch, which is really awesome for kind of like creating those loose categories that will help you find things later on. And so that's kind of how I'm using it there. A third way that you could use tags to help you retrieve things is with databases. When you create a database file, like let's say we do one right here, you can use a tag as a filter for the database source. So you could say file tags is exactly, it doesn't always work if you're going to use anything with more than one. So what you want to do is contains. So if I wanted to look at all my process improvement notes, I could do this, where I actually put the tag in the contains, and then this is going to filter it out. So tags are also a great way to kind of construct a database. So if you use tags for a certain thing, like for instance, I think I have a database of people, where all my notes that I tag as people, I can pull them up into a database and have additional information there. Again, databases can be a lot of work, but it's also, they can add a little bit more structure to them. So I don't have a ton of them. In the future, I might build it out a little bit more with some databases for things like recipes, for instance. But for now, this passes my litmus test for my system, which is that it's easy to put things in and to categorize it. And it's even easier to get things out and find that information later, which is really why I have an Obsidian vault, is to get information when I need it. So if you found that helpful, like the video and subscribe to the channel.